Hi guys! So, here's a little update for y'all. Today is Sunday, so a week ago, my good friend was blessing her baby. When Greg and I, my husband, decided to leave the church, we also were like, we still want to support our family who does believe, and it's like an important thing to them. So, we decided to go to church. We haven't been, so this was last Sunday, so this was March 8th, and we hadn't been to church since, sometime in January 2019, and we're in 2020. So over a year. And so I was really nervous to go to church for a number of reasons. The first one is I was just really afraid of being triggered. I talked about in my last video, I'm dealing with a lot of anger with the church and a lot of frustration. And so I was really concerned about going and feeling, you know, those feelings of how I felt when I was active. I was afraid of that. Like, I was just really afraid of that. And another part of me was actually afraid that I would realize I made a mistake. I was like, what if I go back to church and it feels right and it feels good, and I'm like, what the heck did I do? Like, did I make a mistake in leaving the church? Like, that's a really scary option when I've told everyone now, I've changed my life, I've changed what I believe, and to go back and be like, crap, what did I do? So we gathered up the kids. It was also really stressful with the children. I feel like I need to make a whole video about our kids and their experience from my perspective on them leaving the church. And I was just really afraid of it confusing them. And so we went into church, and it was very strange. The first thing I noticed is from the minute I walked in, I was like, I feel different. And it took me a minute to kind of figure out what was different. And I realized I didn't care what people thought. It was such a freeing experience because when I was in the church, I really stressed about, you know, are people going to think I'm righteous enough? Are the ward members going to think I'm a good Mormon? Like, that was like a big stress for me. And I don't think that's everybody's experience. I'm only talking for me. But for me, I was like, okay, I can't have toys till after sacrament. Like, the kids can't have snacks in sacrament. Like, there's all these rules because I wanted to look like a really good Mormon and like we were a really good family. And it was always like so stressful. Like, my kids have to behave because if they're not behaving, like, I'm going to be judged. And again, I don't know if that was reality or that's just what I felt was true. So it was like this really weird, freeing feeling to be in church and not give a damn what people thought about me, about my family, about my kids, if they were dressed perfectly, if they looked good enough. It was really, really cool. So we sat down in our pew, and we got there like right on time. And so the meeting started, and they did the first song, and that was one of my favorite parts about church, was singing the hymns. And I had my moment, and it terrified the crap out of me, where I was like, this feels so comfortable. Like, I had been in this culture, in this religion my entire life, and here I am. After having these 5 months away, it felt a little bit like home almost. Like, okay, like, this is comfortable. This is what I'm used to. I'm used to these traditions, to these words, to this music, to this, you know, this is what happens, and then this, and then there's this. Like, and it scared me. It really, I was like, again, like, did I make a mistake? Was I wrong? And I mean, there's just a nice feeling in church. Like, it's quiet and reverent, and there is that sense of community and belonging. And so I was kind of panicking a little, I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can go back. Like, what if I am wrong? And then they did the baby blessing. So if you clicked on this and you have never been LDS, when a baby is born, the priesthood holders, or the men who are worthy to hold the priesthood, go up and they stand in a circle and they bless the baby. You know, with just blessings they could use in their life, you know, with health or skills they might need, you know. And so they all went up and blessed the baby, and my friend's husband did such a good job, and it was such a beautiful blessing. But it reminded me why I left. And it was nothing he said. Like, nothing he said, nothing they did as a family. It was beautiful to see them come together to celebrate the birth of this baby in the church and to have that moment. Like, that was so beautiful. But it was Olivia. Olivia is 6, and she is strong, and she's independent, and she is hecka stubborn, and she is determined. She is the most determined child I have. she is going to make things happen. Like, that girl, she's a go-getter. Like, she wants to improve and learn and do these things. And it was a couple minutes after they blessed the baby, and she said, Mom, I thought, when are they going to bless the baby? And I was like, Olivia, they already did. And she said my friend's name. We'll call her Sarah. And she said, but I didn't see Sarah get up there. And I told her, I was like, Olivia, in this church, the women aren't allowed to bless babies. That's just not something they're allowed to do. And Olivia was like, but boys and girls can do the same things, because that's what we teach in our house, is that there's nothing a boy can do that a girl can't. And I said, I know, but that's not how it is here. And my sweet little Bentley kind of overheard the conversation, and he's like, wait, girls aren't allowed to go up and bless the baby? And Greg, my husband, said, no, they're not. They're not allowed to be up there. And Bentley said, yeah, we need to find a new church. And but it reminded me, this is a big reason, not the only one, don't come at me, but one of the reasons that this wasn't the right church for us, or the right religion. Like, I am never gonna tell my daughter she can't do anything. And once that conversation took place, it like brought me back to reality, and it made me realize and remember all of the stress and the guilt and the hard times and everything that went into my life when I was an active member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I felt that relief again of just letting that go and being like, oh, it's so hard to explain, but just realizing I didn't have to carry that anymore. Like, I didn't have to carry the grief and the pain and the hurt. And it was amazing. And I you know, we sat through the rest of the meeting, and it was good, and I walked the halls with my kids because they're freaking loud and couldn't stay in the meeting, and it was fine, and it was good, and I'm not going to take away, it feels good to be there, it feels comforting and normal, but I also know I don't belong there anymore. I just don't, and I can't, and I don't want to. And so it was like such a better experience. I thought I was going to have like a panic attack. I thought I was going to be in tears, and I did have moments of grief, of letting it go and realizing I don't belong there or want to belong there anymore. But it was really good. It was good to go back and remember how good it can feel to be in church, but again, to also have that closure of, yeah, we made the right choice for us and for our kids. That was my experience going back to church. Again, it was conflicting, and I get a little nervous putting this video out there because I feel like my active family or friends who might watch this are like, no, that's the Spirit calling you back. And to me, it's not. It's not. Again, I remember all the reasons I left. I remember the terrible experiences I had. But again, nothing is black and white. Nothing's all good or all bad. And that's how I feel about the church now, is it's not all good and it's not all bad. It's a mixture. And so I think there's peace and comfort in realizing I can appreciate the good and not feel like that means it's true, or that means I have to go back and live that way. I can just step back and see it for what it is and see the good and be like, yep, that's a good part, without feeling that need to go back. So that was my experience, and it was really good and really healing, and almost like again, just like a reaffirmation to myself that I made the right choice, and also that it's okay. I had good experiences in the church, and it's okay. I felt good in church. It doesn't mean I have to go back, and it doesn't mean it's true for me. So anyways, I love you guys. If you have any questions, if you have any videos you think I should do, or experiences you want me to talk about, please leave those down below. You know, if you are thinking of leaving the church or in the beginning process of leaving the church, like, reach out to me. It can be such a scary and lonely road to walk. Like, such a lonely road. And, you know, I still feel that a lot, that loneliness. So let's form a community. Come on over. Let's do it. Okay, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.